Am I going crazy? I don't know. I think like, well, I at first, it was all like, how'd you say it? Overwhelming. It was all overwhelming, but I always felt this. How'd you say it? This feeling, that there was an answer to all of this. There was an answer to everything that was happening to me. There was an answer to uh, everything, you know, um, because I've had people tell me that, what do you call it, that life is a certain way, pastors, teachers, professors, random people, I've had all types of people tell me that life, mentors, is a specific way, you know. And the truth is that their way, specific way, has flaws. It contradicts itself, time and again, you know. And so this confidence, this knowing that there's an answer to everything, that there's a way of being, a way of life that answers all questions and doubts, you know. But anyways, I kind of feel that self confidence, that reassurance that, what, regardless of what somebody is saying and what types of words they use, you know, I always felt, what, you're lying to me, but I'll believe you for the time being until I catch your lie, right? And so this self confidence has always helped me through difficult situations. Anyways, what I want to talk about is that right now I'm surpassing this boiler room that the government or whichever administration is out there has created, right? Am I going crazy? I don't know, but this is very detailed for a crazy person or for crazy talk per se, right? Anyways, the first aspect is the lever de soli. This aspect is an aspect that's like, you're crazy. The sky is falling. You sound like Chicken Little, right? Whatever. How can you prove it? How can I prove that I'm in some type of sector, you know, that the world is immensely big, you know, that Chinese aren't like 60-70% of the world's general population, that this is a kingdom, and that the lever de soli is some type of trick, maybe this is like a ranch, a ranch, and they're able to, build cities underground. I don't know. I don't know. Soon I'll find out. I can't prove that. What I can prove is that the sun is going faster up and down. People might not believe me, but to myself, it's a fact. It's a fact, right? And that sooner or later, I'm gonna find out how is it that it's done, regardless of where I'm at, where, because of I'm here or because of I'm there, or it may be a matrix, or even worse, an illusion, some type of illusion or a dream, a dream. But anyways, the lever de soli is an aspect that is pending. Next, dogs. Okay, dogs, like, for the most part, my entire life, like, I've never like paid attention to them. I've had numerous people tell me I don't like dogs. Like, dogs are, you know, I don't like dogs or cats. I've had people tell me this, although the dogs and cats are everywhere and have been everywhere. Dogs and cats that have been treated in a manner that I have never been treated. You know what I'm saying? And while living on the street, while living on the street, these dogs, for some reason, they always approach me. They always approach me, regardless of where I'm at. I walk into a neighborhood and I sit down or I go to a park or whatever. there's always like a dog or two dogs that approach me. And these dogs will, they don't bark at me. They never barked at me. They never like, they just like appeared, and like I would like, you know what, get the fuck out, get out of here. You know, get out of here. I would shoo them away, and then they would take the piss, or even worse, take the shit and then leave. And then leave. You know what I'm saying? That's what they've done ever since, like I don't know how many years. Like a lot of years. Because I was living on the street a lot of years. You know, for I've been here for 2 years in Durango, and I was on the street for about seven. So so it was a long time. And for all these years, these dogs have been doing that. They appear, they look at me, and then they turn around to take the piss or to take the shit, one or the other, and then they leave. It's hardly ever that they just leave, right? And like they never like, I was always going through stuff like hearing voices, and ever since I was a kid, hearing voices and this and that. You know, it had stopped for a while, and then it kept going, and I've I've run into a whole bunch of wickedness for a while, you know, and while on the street, even more, a whole bunch of wickedness. But the dogs, they never, how would you say it? They never did much, did nothing more than what I just said, right? And after 7 years of living on the street, you know, here, this aspect of the dogs, they came out and they started barking and they started barking, and it's almost like if I could hear them, like talking and barking, like whack whack. It's kind of stupid, right? But it it sounds like if they're talking and barking. Go home, go home. It's, I mean, it's not. I mean, at first it's like, what the hell is this really happening? But after 2 years of it, I don't have a doubt in my mind, you know. And I'm a vegetarian, you know. I don't care how much the white people or whoever says that the dogs are spiritual guides. The dogs are more than like close to 1,000 races of these species, right? And yet there's bananas and oranges all over the world, where whatever they are and whatever they come from. I know after observing my entire life, you know, I've always hated them. You know, I've always hated them. That's why while on the street, I would shoo them away, right? And because, you know, because of what they are, because of how they act, you know, because you could see that they're conscious, and that they're doing things that, you know what I'm saying? It's almost like catching a kid trying to do something that he's not supposed to. You know what I'm saying? They're always doing something that they're not supposed to. And you look at them, and you make eye to eye contact, and you could tell their conscience. They're good to act stupid like any other person, right? Doing something that they're not supposed to. They're really good to act stupid. But me, after these 2 years, I can tell you that those things are demons. They're demons. And I could care less what anybody has to say. I mean, any conscience, Christian or vegetarian, that's 40 years old, because I mean, adolescents, they're like, you can't tell them, you know, that they're demons, because they were raised to believe that they're pets and that they're domesticated wild animals. How do you domesticate an animal? How do you domesticate a coyote, a wolf? Because basically, that's what they are. And, anyways, this aspect of the dogs, of what they are, it's also an aspect that is pending, and we're gonna wait to see what happens in these magical valleys, because here in Mexico they call them magical valleys. You know, I was in the States, and the valley, the Rio Grande Valley, the southernmost part of the United States of America, right? The southernmost part of the United States of America. That's where I was raised. Anyways, it's called the Rio Grande Valley, the Magic Valley. And here they're called pueblos mágicos. In other words, magic valleys, magic towns to be specific. But anyways, to me that's all bullshit. To me that's all a whole bunch of onset that they create their little wickedness and they call it magic, whatever. It's kind of stupid, you know. That will wear off and how would you say it? The dogs is a pending aspect. A pending aspect. Next, the kids.